Appreciation August is on 1 week early at integrativemysticism.com. From now until the 31st of August 2020, enjoy 20% off all Scarlet Moon services, including gift certificates when you apply the codes on your screen. We are now also accepting tips and donations for those of you who've been requesting that for the last 7 years. You can now leave a tip or a donation at my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Pisces. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder, or a heads up for you, recently I debuted a new type of horoscope, and you probably saw it if you're a subscriber. It's where you actually build your own spread, and it's far more expansive than just, what you might think a pick-a-card would be. You actually go through a guided clearing, a meditation, and selection process where you build your own 5-card reading, and then, of course, I read it for you. And so you'll be selecting from cards that have already been charged and blessed to look at the most predominant energies and occurrences of the coming week. And so if you want to check it out, you can go to my main channel page by clicking on my avatar beneath this video and go right there. It is pretty involved, but, it's as personal as you can get for a general YouTube read. So, you got to be personally involved for a more personalized reading. So what's going on when it comes to this week? This week, you are going to be tasked with really seeing if it's worth trying to stabilize things that are unstable. And if you can, I don't think everything is hopeless. But there is going to be a moment here where you're going to have to start bringing some clarity into your spaces. You're going to really need to start paying attention to where houses have been built on sand, so to speak, just using that metaphor there, because the Knight of Wands reversed is sort of like the spiritual overlight, the spiritual theme of what's going on. We're kind of seeing where a lot of projects, a lot of movements, a lot of ideas, a lot of connections are not holding up very well whenever there seems to be a change in the air. And that can be a liability, right? We want things that are going to be able to move with ease and with grace, not freak out and scatter all over the place every time there's a slight breeze. But the thing with the Knight of Wands reversed is that you might be noticing that maybe instability in certain things that you're connected to is starting to become a more pervasive problem. Now you're tasked with, of course, creating an alternative, whether you are stabilizing these things or letting them be, leaving them to their own devices and their own lessons, whoever and whatever they are. It's up to you. You can create the new around yourself, or and for those who vibe with it. Or you can, of course, walk away to try and find more stable ground. It's up to you. But the Knight of Wands reversed is asking you to pay attention to where certain things are showing signs that are lacking very important elements of structural integrity this week, okay? And just observe it with neutrality. Don't judge it, but don't pretend you're not seeing what you're really seeing. In fact, as we get to your finances, your work, your material abundance, you have the King of Wands in reverse, the King of Wands reversed, and we are seeing where there is a situation that does not promise to be as secure or as profitable as we once thought, and this could very well be something that we are entertaining, something new, or something that we have actually either begun in recent history or was proposed in recent history is already showing some cracks. Now, with the King of Wands in reverse, this could be due to possibly unstable leadership or unstable committees that are making some bad decisions here, or it was flawed from the ground up. But with the King of Wands reversed, you are asked to see what can be done about preserving your own interests here. This may be a client, a boss, or maybe even just an entire circumstance we need to know how to distance ourselves from in order to not only protect our own interests, but to stay on an upward trajectory and, a stable momentum as we go through this week. This may be something that we are able to pass off or trade out. Some of you may be deciding to trade out on an opportunity or something that has been proposed, or even something that you have kind of enlisted yourself for or worked up to trying to start, because you're starting to see those cracks. And those cracks in the dam are only going to get bigger. So it's a warning. Now, I don't want you to think that this is supposed to be something bleak, right? All readings are nuanced. We are in a vast universe with multidimensional. It's just indicating here that, do not let this take up so much of your time and attention that you don't see the alternatives that are also presenting at the same time. In fact, as we get to the communications, your community, friends, relatives, other people in your life, you are watching an opportunity that can actually take you in and take you on, start to really pick up steam, pick up the pace. Now, this could be the alternative we were just talking about with the King of Wands reversed when it comes to maybe a source of income, a new business prospect, a new creative project, or possibly even a new initiative that really does actually have some promise. But the Page of Wands is indicating that you're watching this next to you. I'm actually getting this image of being in the desert, looking at the young man with the wand, looking at the young man who is actually lighting up this project, really catching fire, really catching speed here. And so if you are interested, I do think that this is something to at least make an inquiry about, because it's kind of like giving you a chance to change trains at this station and really get on a new path, something that absolutely will start to show you made the right decision if you decide to allow yourself to do that. Because for your lesson, which will appear as a challenge this week, we have the Page of Pentacles upright, going to the solid spaces, focusing on creating solid alternatives, stabilizing things that are maybe too based in conjecture or emotions or estimates, looking for things that are actually going to physicalize the highest outcomes, the highest opportunities, the most abundant and most consistently rewarding and rich, energies that you have to work with. Because with the Page of Pentacles upright as opposed to the Knight of Wands reversed, we're kind of seeing that there's an opportunity to get with winners in this respect. And I don't mean that in like an egotistical way, but when I say getting with winners or getting with winning energies, winning vibrations, winning opportunities, winning projects, winning avenues, you do have it here. And it may require you to change your attitude about who is and who is not actually set up for success, or what is or is not going to create the lasting success. We are kind of going through energetically this very powerful shift as we go into August, where a lot of what promised success, in a lot of ways the last few years is getting pushed out. A lot of trends, a lot of fashions, a lot of sensibilities when it comes to relationships, money, business, creativity, art, spirituality. A lot of that stuff is getting displaced by the new and getting displaced by things that are more substantial. And so if you're working with old technology, you're working with old acumen or anything like that, or you're around people who refuse to give it up, consider creating an alternative and looking at the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands for it. As we get to the Four of Swords, when it comes to love and relationships, this week is going to be about healing. And I feel like there is a very strong sense of almost like just a healing quietness that comes to your love life. For those of you who are maybe single or available to somebody new, I do feel like this could be healing an opportunity with somebody that we've maybe been just friends with and never really had a chance to kind of explore. I don't feel like this would be an ex situation, but with the Four of Swords, there does seem to be, in this moment of quiet, in this moment of silence, or in this moment of peace, a light turns on if you are open to it. For those of you who are currently in existing relationships, you and a partner are really taking the time to do and have this moment for yourselves, and you could be deciding that it's time to just shut out the world, and both of you are agreeing to maybe turn off the distractions, turn off the professional distractions, the social distractions, the family distractions. And with this Four of Swords, there is sort of a strange sweetness to this, because it does give this tremendous sense of peace that is not necessarily feeling all the hot and romantic, burning passion and desire, but that peaceful quietude that allows for a true soul connection and energy exchange that is not rooted in maybe more of the physical or psychological levels of a relationship in the everyday. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And if you ever want to get a session, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.